In law enforcement, telling the truth is paramount.
But was the Wayne County Sheriff truthful during recent testimony stemming from a sexual harassment lawsuit?
The 7 investigators have previously revealed how 6 different women have accused Raphael Washington of harassment over his career, claims he has denied. We also revealed how nude images appeared on his social media, prompting him to claim he'd been hacked.
Now, 7 investigator Ross Jones is squaring what the sheriff said under oath with what the evidence shows.
You have an obsession with looking at women's rear ends and seeking out material to show nude or partially nude women.
Absolutely
Objection.
not.
That's just a harassing statement.
The Wayne County Sheriff has had a complicated relationship with social media lately. In May, we revealed how nude images made their way onto Raphael Washington's personal Facebook page. Not once, but twice. He denied knowing anything about them at the time, later telling another TV station he'd been hacked.
I don't know how I got there. I didn't put it there. It's very disturbing. And I hate that whoever did that put it on my site.
The sheriff's office said they'd get to the bottom of who posted the images, and county leaders said they needed to.
I'm sure that the sheriff and his team are looking into those things.
Well, I'm sure he's going to ask them to look into it.
An investigation, I'm sure, should happen, so I'm looking for the findings from the investigation.
But weeks later, we asked the sheriff's office to produce records that anyone had been asked to investigate the supposed hack. They could produce none.
The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Turns out this wasn't the first time the sheriff has claimed he was hacked when confronted with lewd images linked to his social media. Last year, he gave a deposition as part of a lawsuit filed by a former female appointee who says Washington sexually harassed her. The sheriff denies the lawsuit's claims, saying the employee was fired for insubordination. But under oath, he was asked about how he used this Instagram account in his name and image.
That would be your account, correct?
So it would be possibly, and it could be.
At first, Washington said he wasn't sure it was his, claiming that people have impersonated him over the years. But after being shown a series of sexually charged pages the account follows...
You see where it says followed by Ray Wash 826, followed by raywash.826. Again, followed by Ray Wash 826.
Washington denied it was his.
People are hacking my page regularly. Okay. That's not my page. Saying that's not my page.
The accounts in question, featuring sexually explicit content creators, exotic dancers, and other adult content, are too risque to put on television. We found at least 18 followed by raywash.826. Following accounts like these is legal, and doing so wouldn't violate the county's ethics policy. But being untruthful under oath could be a much bigger problem.
The account amassed more than 650 posts over the years. Vacations, dinners with his wife, selfies in the gym and in uniform. It was created in 2013 while Washington was a deputy chief and would accumulate posts for the next 8 years.
The account that Washington says isn't his is followed by his wife, his 2 sons, and his cousin, Bishop Charles Ellis. There's his current chief of staff, the deputy county executive, Washington's executive assistant, and a litany of current and former sheriff's employees, too. Multiple shared private messages they'd exchanged with the account, including this one, where raywash.826 mentions attending a fellowship at Harvard University back in June of 2010. We checked with Harvard's Kennedy School, who confirmed that Washington attended and graduated from the program in June of that year.
Frequently, the account advertised Washington's private company, CPL Pro. More than 65 times it advertised his concealed pistol license courses and encouraged people to sign up by calling a 313 phone number. It just happens to be the sheriff's personal cell.
Multiple people commented that they were interested in taking the class. I found 2 of them who confirmed they later took the course taught by Raphael Washington.
Are you saying that's definitely not your page?
Yes, and I'm saying that that's not my page.
He testified that where it says dot is not his page.
This is not my page.
Did he give himself any wiggle room there?
He gave himself no wiggle room. That is not my page, is what he said.
Anjali Prasad is a former state and federal prosecutor. She reviewed Washington's deposition and his Instagram account.
Booty tag, the king of curves. I don't want to even say what some of them are called.
Along with the evidence we just shared with you.
I don't do stories about elected leaders' social media habits.
Right.
I do stories about police officers who aren't honest. Does this strike you as one of those examples?
Yes.
Well, the sheriff's office declined to comment on what we just reported, citing the pending litigation against the county. The Instagram account in question has not been posted to since June of 2020. That same month, Washington created an account with an almost identical name that he acknowledges is his. But unlike RayWash.826, this one is set to private. Perjury is a charge seldom brought in Michigan courts for good reason. It is very difficult to prove. If law enforcement wanted to explore this case, it would likely be the Oakland County prosecutor, as Washington's deposition took place in Bloomfield Hills. But as we sit here right now, next week there's a hearing. That sexual harassment lawsuit that led to his deposition, they're trying to get it tossed, is the county sheriff's office. There's a hearing happening next week. We'll see what happens with that.
And we know you'll stay on it
Yes,
from the beginning to the end.
All right, Russ, thank you.